Hello everybody. We're going to take a look at Unit 4.7a in WAMAP. We're working on percent still, this time as proportions and then some applications. We're going to look at a couple of problems figuring out percentages of numbers. And this will look familiar to Unit 4.6, and the only difference is that this time we have some decimal numbers. Before we were using integers or whole numbers, this time we have decimals. So because we're using a calculator, it shouldn't be any more difficult than using whole numbers. It's just a little, your intuition might not be as sharp when they use decimals. Sometimes it makes it a little harder to see the answer. But let's take a look at problem number 1. 19.8% of 31 is what number? Okay, and we're going to jump to the tablet. And let me just, 19.8% of 31 equals what? And then the second one, 44.191 is 74.9% of what? Okay, so move this down a little bit. So 19.8% of 31 is equal to what? Let's translate this into a mathematical expression. So of is generally multiplication. The numbers can stay the same way they are, and I took the is here and already made it equal sign. So we have multiplication for of, and then what is our unknown. So we put a variable, we can put the x there. So if we rewrite this, and then a percent can be 0.198, right? So to turn a percent, something written as a percent, into a decimal that we can multiply with easily, we just move the decimal point 2 places to the left, okay? And I added a leading 0. So 0.198 times 31 equals x. So I think now we have 0.198 times 31 is equal to x. Now we can solve for x. So grab your calculator. It's the great thing about level TS Math 55, right? We get to use our calculators. So 0.198 times 31. Don't forget to turn yours on. That's what I always do. So 0.198 times 30 times 31. 0.198 times 31 is equal to 6.138, and that's equal to x. So let's see what they wanted for formatting in our answer. Just says 19.8% of 31 is what number. It didn't ask for any rounding, so we'll just put in our number. We got 6.138, so 6.138. Our number ended there, so you can go from this 19.8% of 19.8 times 31 is x, right? That's how we wrote it out, 19.8. So 0.198 times 31 is x. Let's take a look at the second one. Let's see if we got this one right. Okay, awesome. So generally, if they don't specify formatting, like to the second decimal place or to cents or to people, just put in whatever number you get on your calculator. So the next one, 44.191 is 74.9% of what number? Let's take a look at the tablet. So we have 44.191, and then is the equal sign, and 74.9% is 0.749. Of is the times symbol, of times x, something we don't know. Make my x a little fancy so it won't be confused for a multiplication symbol. Let me jump up out of the way here. So 44.191 equals. So now we have taken this English, and this will be good practice for future story problems. We've taken the English and turned it into a mathematical expression with these terms and actually an equation. So now we can manipulate this. 44.191 is equal to 0.749x. and we're just solving for x. So let's get a different color. And we're multiplying by 0.749 here, so we're going to divide both sides by that same number, 0.749. And 0.749 will cancel each other out on the one side, leaving x by itself. And then just put in 44.191 divided by 0.749, and that should give us our answer 59. So x is equal to 59. This number, 44.191, is 74.9% of 59. Okay, so let's put that in and see how we did. And submit. Okay, so that one was also correct. So here's a couple of some similar questions you can try. Try to set it up so that you are replacing these words with mathematical symbols. So is or are or was or were is always the equal sign. Percent can be written as a decimal just by moving this decimal point over 2 places and dropping the percent sign. What is generally the x, the variable, so you can use whatever you like. Use your first initial if you like that, and see how that works for you. Give it a try, and if you run into trouble, message me through WAMAP, and I'll try to get back to you within 24 hours.